I just found a secret folder on my husband's computer where he documents the journey of him stalking his boss's underage daughter. So a lot has happened since I found my husband's folder where he has stored thousands of pictures of our boss's daughter. I was staying at my cousin's for the last few days but decided we needed to confront my husband right away. We ended up going over around 4 p.m., knowing we'd have a few hours to collect the evidence while he was at work. I made sure to copy everything on the folders of the daughter to a flash drive, and took a video of it being from his laptop too. After that, my friend asked me to look up co-workers' names, and when I did that hit some results, with 4 other co-workers' names, all women, all to the same extent as the boss's daughter. All the folders were hidden the same way, inside a few layers of new folder S. We took those too. Then my friend pointed out that some of those might be files he received, since the file names were different and some were similar to WhatsApp files as she pointed out. We did some digging and found out that these files are ones he was sent to by someone else. This ultimately made me do something that I shouldn't have done, since it could have blown up in my face. But it had made me anxious and I needed answers. So I asked my cousin if they would stay till my husband gets back. She agreed, and I decided to take that time to pack my bags, just necessary things for now. We waited and waited, until my husband finally came back. He was surprised to see us but didn't seem to suspect anything and I told him to sit down. He did, and I think that's when he noticed his laptop on the couch and asked what was going on. I told him I saw some things related to the boss's daughter, and that I wanted an explanation. He tried to get angry at first, but quickly dropped that act. I told him I wanted to hear what he had to say and then decide what to do. He said he was fine talking but only if my cousin waited in another room as he wanted to explain things to me alone. My co-sween was hesitant, but I told her it's fine, and that if she heard any issues, to send the drive link to the boss. This was a bluff but he reacted to it noticeably. He assured me he wouldn't act up and asked me what I wanted to know. At that point, I really wanted to hit him, just the look on his face, he looked guilty, like he was looking for excuses but failing. But I stayed calm and told him I saw a lot of things, including all the pictures of the boss's daughter, the edits and a few other things. I asked him to explain. He kept asking me exactly what I wanted to know, and it was becoming obvious that he was either stalling for an excuse or trying to see how much I knew. I told him finally that I saw the pictures, the hidden cam pictures and even the edits of her Photoshop with him plastered onto screenshots of pictures from the hub. He pleaded with me to not get mad and hear him out. And I told him I'll consider it. He took a minute and told me that he had noticed he was growing more and more attracted to her, in an intimate manner, and he apparently struggled with these emotions a lot. Which is why he did that, and that he wanted to release his tension without harming anyone, which is why he made those and kept it to himself. I then asked to see his WhatsApp, and the color on his face almost drained. After a bit of back and forth, he handed me the phone and told me to not overreact. I took his phone and found just one group chat on WhatsApp with 3 other colleagues. And it was just filled with pictures of the boss's daughter, creep shots taken from different areas, zoomed in for the most part, even from today. Literally a few minutes before he handed me the phone there were pictures taken. A lot of conversations in their language, about fantasies on how they would have did her. Scrolling up, it keeps getting worse and worse. A lot of it was about wanting to rope her, as a revenge on the boss. He kept apologizing, telling me he loved me and that this was all just to keep himself in control and that it was ultimately just harmless fantasizing. I only caught bits and pieces of what he was saying, before just turning on the screen recorder and scrolling, recording the conversations. All the while he kept begging me to forgive him and not ruin his life and career. I told him I felt betrayed, and I told him I was disgusted at the man he was. And through his apologizing, he kept insisting it didn't really hurt anyone. But I told him it hurt me, and if she found out, it would hurt her too, and he simply pleaded with me not to tell her. For a while he kept switching between how he's sorry and he loves me, to how it's not as bad as I am making it out to be and how they were just messing around and weren't hurting anyone. After a while, I pulled myself up and told him that I don't see myself staying with him and that I want a divorce. He pleaded with me not to do so, but I simply said that I didn't want to listen to his excuses. I then told him that I wanted to take the laptop and he froze. I was half expecting him to reject me, but he simply begged me not to show this to the boss or the daughter. I told him I wasn't sure if I wanted to do that and that I am thinking it over. I told him not to delete the WhatsApp conversations or tell the others, and that if he does, I will send everything to the boss. Ultimately, I want to talk to the daughter first, and then decide what to do and how to tell the father. But that will have to wait, I guess.